What is going on, everybody? We're back once again with another edition of Wrestling Republic's Off the Air, immediately following NXT. First and foremost, I got a monster shout out, my grandpa Zach. He's the man. Stay strong, my dude. Tough day at the office. It happens to the best of us, but we're tailors and we'll get through it. Absolutely. Let's, though, talk about wrestling tonight. And let's start with NXT, which is what we cover as soon as we go off the air. And I'm thankful to be hanging with two of the best co hosts in the whole entire world. I'm first going to send it to Louisville, Kentucky. That is my friend Drizzy. How are you doing on this Tuesday night before we get into NXT?
Good morning, afternoon, and evening. It's the guy you should believe in. Drizzy is now on your screen. What's good? What's going on? It is the go home show for NXT deadline, and it was a wild show. Let's get into this.
Absolutely. I am beyond stoked to talk about it. But before we do, I do have to introduce the other co host of this show. And we're going to head out to the DMV, the Tuesday night delight, as I like to call him. Shoddy, how are you doing on this Tuesday evening, my friend?
I'm good, brother. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. It's your boy Dwayne the Ock Johnson, Ock Lesnar. You know what I'm saying? Shinsuke Akumura. It's your boy Shotty, man. I'm here, man. We ready to talk NXT. Got the lovely Bianca Belair on my t-shirt, and yeah, man, let's get into it.
Absolutely, my friend. And by the way, Ock bars expect bars every time out of shot. That was money shot. I mean, what more could you ask
You
for,
know
my
what it
friend?
is, man. Showtime Battle Arena. Who battle? We freaking battle.
We battle. Um, we got in the comments here, Cool Gamer with the Windows logo. Hello. What's going on, Cool Gamer? Good to see you as
Oh man,
as
Windows
always.
Windows
And then
XP.
He
and then our
locking in.
good friend Bobby Batino.
Bobby,
With
stop stealing my picks, man.
yeah, no,
Stop stealing my picks, brother. Not
Bro,
messing.
the
That's
plug
why.
on it.
That's what. Actually, I got. We'll talk about that next week. Never
he's
mind.
got Tavion Heights as his picks. Is his pick in the NXT breakout tournament. But speaking of NXT, obviously we are fresh off another edition of Tuesday night
Hmm.
NXT. Let's talk about the last chance matches out of the gates. I think that's what we get into out of the gates. It makes most sense.
For sure.
We had the last chance matches, especially on the women's side, where we're looking at Roxanne Perez, Kiana James, Thea Hale, Fallon Henley. Let's talk about it. Sean, I'm tossing it straight to you.
Hmm.
Break down the women's side of this tournament. Where are we
Yeah,
going
I'm
from there?
no for sure, man. I thought it was a solid match. I think NXT is blessed with riches in this women's division. They got so many different women on the roster, so many great talents. And you saw it here tonight, man. This show definitely had a nice injection of the strong women's division on full display. I always say they're the best women's division in pro wrestling. I stand by that. Solid bout. All of these women obviously trying to get their opportunity to get in this Iron Survivor match, and they had a good one. I thought all styles were good, fast pace. Saw a lot of commotion going on. You saw him get physical. Saw a lot of cheating, but it's not cheating because it's a non DQ match, and it was just solid around within the match. I thought the winner was the right choice. I think we talked about it last week, thinking who was going to win, and I think we all agreed that it was probably going to be Fallon Henley due to the fact that she is a rising star. She's someone that can benefit being in this Iron Survivor match, whether she wins it or whether she doesn't win it. You can put a bout for her to do it because they put her in position so much on this show, and she flourishes and she does her job well. So I think giving her the opportunity to be in that match was well deserved. Um, and I love my favorite part of the match is just the continuation and the extension of what we're gonna get on Saturday between Roxanne Perez and Kiana James. I tweeted it earlier, and I think Kiana James has the tools, the look, the charisma, and the in ring ability to be a monster heel once she does get an opportunity to get to the main roster. And just in WWE and NXT for years to come, she has a sense of charisma that, and just like the facial expressions and just the demeanor that is really good as a heel. And her and Roxanne do a great job having this fights between each other, just going at it. They had a cool table spot. We saw them, scrap after in the backstage where they set up a cage match, which is the best way to blow off a feud between them. And I'm liking it, man. I know Roxanne is not in the title picture at the moment, but they're giving her these good feuds versus solid heels on the women's roster and helping her build up and helping build up other women. So all in all, man, no complaints. I enjoyed it.
I love where you're coming from too, especially about Fallon Henley, because I look at Fallon as a talent that we've, in a weird way, somehow overlooked. You mentioned earlier how great this NXT women's division is. And so it's easy to overlook a talent. Fallon
Hmm.
Henley looks like a superstar. And not just a star, and I'm not trying to do the old trope or the cliche when I say superstar, but she looks like somebody that could carry a title, that could
Yeah.
absolutely, she has that little itty bitty it factor, charismatically, charisma wise, right?
Presentation is a key, man. You got to present yourself as a star, and she does a great job. I
And
mean,
that's
she,
key. Like you said, I thought this showing was even more important for her because the only knock would be in ring work, and she looked great in the ring tonight. Drizzy, I'm
mhm.
going to toss it to you. What were your thoughts on the initial last chance matches to get into the Iron Survivor deal? And how did you feel about Fallon Henley going over?
I absolutely love the matches. The women have gotten to such a good space that every week we just can't. It's every week we keep on going about how great the women are, how good they are, how good they are, how great they are. They're getting to a point they're overshadowing everything. We can go ahead and give the women their own night at this point because from top to bottom they're hitting on all cylinders. Whether they're in a title match, whether they have a feud going on, anything and everything. And when we talk about Fallon Henley, she was in that initial first class when NXT 2.0 hit. So you have the Tiffany Strattons, the Kiana James, all them were all in that same class. So it's not a shocker that Fallon, after a year of just working in her craft and being in meaningful storylines along with Kiana James, who this also goes for her too. They're both hitting their stride now, and it would not be surprising to see either one of them go after the women's title and win it. They both look like women who could carry a division. Kiana, a heel to build around, and Fallon Henry could be that glue, that baby face that you just want to cheer for. She has this spark when you look into the camera and you can't help but just feel the energy radiate through you as you look at her. She was the right person to win this match. We're gonna save our predictions for who we think will win later, but this match is definitely one of my favorites. If I was introducing somebody to an NXT women's division, this is the match I'm showing.
100%. And Drizzy, I would say this too. There's a lot of people I know that if they were gonna go and do what you just did and put your name on the women's division overshadowing the men's division in NXT, I'd immediately kind of have like a retort. But when Andre Jersey Martin does it, you gotta have some pause here because what you just said makes not only perfect sense, but the most sense in the world. You look at women's divisions across the sport, and there's something that is special going on right now, and that's NXT women's division. It's not
Uh,
2.0 anymore. It's
mhm,
3.0, whatever you'd like to call it, right? It's not the
mhm.
black and gold anymore. It's not the same thing, but there is not a women's division in professional wrestling that is being booked better right now. That
Right now.
I couldn't agree
And
more.
and this is coming from an Impact Knockouts fan. Like me and
Yes,
Shad go back and forth about this a lot about which women's division we think is better. If we're stopping today, NXT's got the lead. It's not about much, but they definitely got the lead.
I couldn't agree more.
Go
I
ahead, go
And
ahead.
you know what's one thing that you can there's one thing that's intriguing about the NXT women's division compared to any division of whether it's a men's heavyweight, cruiserweight, mid card, whatever it may be. You can argue and you have an opportunity with how deep the roster is. You can rotate the champ more frequently rather than having one champ have a long reign. Like Lyra could lose to any of these women on Saturday and it'd be fine. She could
Absolutely.
lose to Lola Vice and it'd be fine. Like they need to actually give an opportunity and shuffle it around and make it seem fresh. Where that's something we don't see in pro wrestling a lot now. We get the normal I'm gonna have a 6 month reign, a year reign. Nah, here you can have a month,
You're
2, 3 month
I
reign
mean,
at longest
constantly
and,
in
and
danger.
shuffle it up,
honest
and
to
that makes it
goodness,
fun.
did y'all hear Kalani Jordan on Busted Open? Shout out Busted Open and Dave LaGreca and everything over there. Did you hear Kalani Jordan on Busted Open this morning?
Nah, I didn't. I saw her interview with Denise Salcedo. Salute to Denise Salcedo, and I like I man
Salute
I love. We'll talk about that in a bit, but man, her personality is like, how could you not like her? Like she's
Ka-
very.
Kalani on the show this morning. I was listening to it, and all I could think was, I was like, we got this Iron Survivor coming up. This is one of the most anyone could win, and it would not be
Mhm.
upsetting. Kalani Jordan to me this morning sounded like the coolest woman in pro wrestling. Like she could not have been better
Cool,
on
calm,
the
collected.
microphone, explaining her story, telling her story, heading into all of this. And this is before the show even aired tonight.
Hmm.
And I'm looking at all of this. This tournament in and of itself is a success already because everyone involved looks outstanding.
And you could also say that this match, the Iron Survivor match, is gonna make stars because that's one thing that Book and I forgot the other guys, the Todd Phillips, not Todd Phillips,
Vic Joseph.
Vic Joseph.
Vic
They
Joseph,
they constantly kept talking about how this match was such a big stepping stone for Kiana James, for Roxanne, who actually won it. Like so many people stood out in this match, and even on the men's side, Grayson Waller, Mello,
Zoe
all these
Zoe
people
Zoe Zoe
stood up.
Stark.
Zoe
Zoe
Stark,
Stark.
like this match was a big standout for all of them. So they're treating this like it's an all-star match. Like if you're in this, it's almost a stepping stone to the next level.
Hmm.
that is such a great point, Drizzy, too. Like the amount of people built off of the concept is where I think the brilliance lies. You know what I mean? That's where like it just and it's a hard thing to do when you're booking a wrestling promotion to do something like this where it's outside of a particular title picture for the time being, right? We're looking at another tournament that we break down all the time on AEW, and I'm not trying to make that comparison because it's not the same at all, right? But if you look at these Iron Survivor matches that we have set up for this Saturday, it's just it's it does feel like a little bit of a step ahead as far as storytelling. I hate to be that guy. I'm not trying to put my name on that, but it does. And I love AEW as much as the next guy, but just as far as the tournaments are concerned, there's logic. That's all I'm asking for. It's not that hard. Just logic. You know what I mean, Shad?
Brain, using their brain.
Yeah, just a little
I
bit of
don't know,
logic.
man. I know you love that Continental Classic a lot, bro.
Well, we've
Hey,
discussed that this week.
You love that a lot, man. I thought you
Hey,
did. Maybe you don't. I don't know.
call it the American G1. Just go.
I'm a tweener, Shad.
I don't know. It's cool. That's AEW. We'll talk. I got to talk about that tomorrow. I ain't worried about that right now.
Okay. Also, by the way, we got in the comments. We've got Fallon Henley was the right winner to win the last chance match. I do agree with you there, Bobby. But then another comment here from Bobby Petito, which is I'm looking forward to watching NXT Deadline. So are we.
But I'm
Tune
more
in.
excited to watch the post show.
Same.
That's gonna be better
Bobby,
than Deadline.
The post show.
join us.
We got a post show. Who's on the post show?
Stay tuned. Watch the rest of the show, and we'll give you details about it, guys.
Us three. We're gonna
I am
discuss it.
locked in. I'm locked in. I want to know.
Bobby, Saturday night. I'm just saying, don't make plans after the pay per view. That's all. Or PLE. My bad. That's all I'm saying. I would recommend not making plans because we will be there. Yo, and look at Bobby. Our yes, yes, yes. Saturday night, immediately following the show.
Oh,
Remember to
man.
tune in. We've also got my mama in the comments, which with the woot woot.
Hi,
Love you,
mama.
mama.
Hi, mama.
Absolutely. Okay. Let's get into some other stuff that happened on tonight's show. Let's talk the Alpha Academy in metaphor. And I'm not talking about similes, I'm talking about metaphor.
Huge.
You thought it was this.
Huge.
You thought it
Juice,
was this,
please.
but it's really this.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Drizzy, I gotta ask you about this one. So yeah, we had Alpha Academy and we had Metaphor. Here's my only question. So we have Chad Gable and what he had accomplished with Gunther. Is Chad Gable being slightly held back
Is he
by
being?
the Alpha Academy, or is the Alpha Academy being held back by Chad Gable?
I don't think. I'll ask you a question.
Yes.
Is the Alpha Academy being lifted up off the strength of Master Gable's performance with Gunther?
Now we're talking.
Gunther and the Gable match absolutely gave him that spotlight to be seen more. But now Gable is using that spotlight to highlight people who weren't getting that type of time. Maxine was in a male model tag team that was barely seen on TV. Tozawa was playing a ninja, and Otis was kind of just being shopped around everywhere. He after he had probably that most people probably assumed that he peaked when he caught the Money in the Bank briefcase and had his horrible feud with Miz that we like to act like didn't happen. The Alpha Academy has taken like all that star power from Gable and they're distributing it with among themselves and now bringing it to NXT because now what's one of the highlights of the night? The fact that we seen Lash Legend lift a man three times her size and slam him. It was absolutely amazing. This show tonight, because of moments just like this, have been absolutely amazing, absolutely stunning. Things that you just wouldn't expect to see on a weekly show like this.
I could not agree more, Drizzy. And Lash Legend with the slam is so key. That was one of my favorite moments of the show. It is all time. And as Bobby Petito in the comments said too, also, I liked watching Metaphor on my TV. So did I, Bobby. All day long. I mean, Metaphor is so entertaining
And we
and
kind of have,
so much fun.
and I feel like that moment's gonna have to be put in there for moment of the year, OMG moment of the year. It has to be.
Right. Look, hey, I tweeted it, and y'all can read it if y'all don't follow me. If y'all on Twitter, man, follow me. I am that dude on
Follow
Twitter.
Shad.
What that say?
What
Lash
does it say?
Legend over Hulk Hogan.
Yes.
Mm.
Over that. Oh, who need that Andre the Giant slam,
Nah,
man?
we got Lash and Otis. We don't
We
need that.
got Lash and Otis. Hoku, Hoku. Rest in peace, my man Hashik Bubba. But nah, this match was fun, man. I like these two groups. I said it before. There's like a lot of like similarities between the construction of the group with how they got guys who are good in-ring wrestlers but also fun characters, and you got a good mix of it. And it was honestly the most beneficial for Lash Legend. I think that moment kind of, especially going into this match on Saturday, where she's the strong, athletic person out the bunch out of all these women. You showcase that, you gonna get her an opportunity to throw chicks all over the, across the ring and whatnot. And her, just lifting and slamming a dude who's like 300,000 pounds and Otis. That's impressive, man. God shout outs Bianca first. Remember, she did lift him in that little Bailey challenge on SmackDown, but
So
that's
there's only
neither.
two. There's only
That's
two
neither.
women who have lifted Otis. It can lift Otis.
Yeah.
Bianca and Lash.
But nah, salute to Last Legend. That is like one of those moments you're gonna look back and that kind of adds a new level to it because the crowd loved it. Everybody gave it a holy S chant and whatnot, and it was dope, man. And to your question in regards to Chad Gable, I must say I don't know if he. So I agree with Drizzy. I think he's helped out everybody in the group. I think it's kind of gave a fresh new look to what Otis is doing, and it's still letting Otis be a funny guy, but giving them a more of a serious element to it because they are wrestlers doing something great with Maxine. Although I used to call myself Maximum Male McShoddy, uh, with the triple M. But you giving her new
Triple
life,
M's.
giving her new life into the main roster, and of course Tozawa's funny guy, but I do I think we are kind of removed from what Gable was doing with that Gunther feud, and I think the seriousness of him being a potential IC champ is a lot further out than it was when he was doing that feud, and that is a little unfortunate to me because I wanted him to get that opportunity to be the IC champ, but we'll see. Maybe he'll come back for him later on.
I hear where you're coming from 100%. I will say, though, first and foremost, are we talking about Lash Legend or are we talking about Smash Legend at this point? I mean, come on, dude. We are in
Marvel, why
Smash
Marvel? Why did we not start? Why didn't we
Legend
catch Marvel?
territory.
Why we ain't catch
Like,
her
it
as She
isn't
Hulk, man?
Lash time, it's Smash time because when you're picking Otis up and flipping that big dude over his head, ball game, right on his back, right on the canvas. I mean, I think it's Smash Legend, Smush Legend, maybe even.
The women in
Not
the Iron
Smush.
Survivors
Not
match need
Smush.
to watch out for themselves because that was an outstanding show for her. Nobody else, like, yes, everybody else got a bit of a spotlight, but that was a big spotlight for her. I don't know if it's the writing on the walls that she's winning or not, but
We know who's winning.
nobody else got that spotlight. Lash Legend, bow, bow.
Kalani Jordan, that is my winner. Not
It's,
even close.
it's
I got
Tippy
Kalani.
time. That's who's always winning. She wins in every
Woo! Okay, wait. Let's do before we move on to the next segment.
the
Let's do
center of
our
the
picks.
universe.
You have Tiffy time. I got Kalani. Who do you have, Drizzy?
Yeah, Lash Legend.
And he's got Lash.
It's gonna be like Blair Davenport.
This
Watch.
is gonna make
Most
Saturday
likely, but
fun.
most
But if
likely.
Blair Davenport wins, that will be thoroughly disappointing. We really need a fourth.
Nah,
We
I'd
need
be
a
happy if
fourth
Blair wins.
person to give their picks.
That's Bobby Petito's pick. Blair Davenport.
Oh yeah, Bobby took. Yeah,
There's a
Bobby, you're
conflict.
in. Okay, Bobby, it's us and Bobby. We're good. Yeah,
Blair,
no, look
I,
at this.
I
Even
like.
Bobby just said it. He corrected us on this
Yeah,
too.
that's what.
Blair
That's what I was.
Davenport's still Bobby's pick. Yeah, okay. So we got one each, and then Bobby's got Blair. Dang it, Bobby's gonna win. And I'm a huge Bobby fan, but I'm just so competitive. I really Kalani Jordan I've been on the whole time, and How cool would it be if Kalani gets the job done?
I honestly, truth be told, I wouldn't mind if any of them won, and that's not even me like trying to
Mhm.
sound like politically correct. I like all women in this match.
They
I
This is a
think
all
they're all
fun
awesome.
match.
yes, I
I
absolutely
I
agree.
love Fallon Henley, man. She's really like a fun character. I think she's got that spunk to her, and I like Blair Davenport.
If I was gonna audible to a pick, it was just gonna be Fallon.
If I had an audible pick, my second would have to be Blair. I think Blair Davenport is like so good. I
Okay,
think she could be
these
the
don't count, but if you had an audible pick, Drizzy, what would be your audible pick?
We picked everybody. It's like,
No, we
but
all have.
if I
we
have
pick the
to,
same person.
yeah, I can't go against Lash Legend. I am on the train.
No, you already
I'm
have Lash. You have to if you
I
had to
gotta get somebody
audible,
else.
you had to audible.
Then Fallon, definitely.
If Fallon,
The
yeah.
story is there.
Mm, yeah.
She's absolutely great in the ring.
Shoot. Brett Sternberg, by the way, our good buddies in the comments with it might
Brett.
be Tiffy time.
It's good, bro.
It's always scary. It may be Tiffy time,
Let's see.
but I love the Fallon Henley call, Drizzy. I mean, this is so much fun. Although I will say, the next segment we're going to talk about the return of one of my favorite wrestlers on this planet. We're
Oh
going to talk
Lord.
about Nikita Lyons. She's back. She's so back. Guys, Nikita Lyons, my favorite active professional wrestler on this planet, is back. Not only is she back, she stayed strong through the injuries, through the whole thing. You want to talk about an iron survivor? Dude, we're talking
I'm a
about the steel
survivor.
survivor. I ain't gonna leave her. Yes. Yes.
Oh shoot.
Nikita Lyons is back, Shad. Talk about it. We're talking about the best wrestler in all of NXT. Nikita Lyons, she's back.
So this is why I actually don't think Blair Davenport is going to win on Saturdays because Nikita Lyons is back and Nikita Lyons wants it back in blood because Blair Davenport is the one who took her out off on the shelf. Um, I mean, this is big, man. This is big. I did enjoy the segment that happened to it. Obviously, we had the Iron Survivor segment. There's a lot of chaos that happened. They selling the fight. They getting us ready for Saturday. And of course, unfortunately, my man Nathan Frazier and Axiom, y'all can tear the roof down whenever the women had to take over for that. That's how dominant the women's division is, right? Um, we got to return to Nikita Lyons, hit a beautiful kick. It just came out of nowhere, and the crowd was hyped for it. This is awesome, man. This is another star that you add into this star-studded women's division that we were mentioning. As somebody who unfortunately got injured, but now you put it back in the fold. I think her and Blair is gonna be a good feud. I think Nikita Lyons is a fan favorite, and I think she could be a very good baby face for their women's division and kind of get her back on that trajectory that she was going up. They had high hopes for her, high expectations, and I think she's not gonna miss a beat. So for her to come back, I'm happy. But for Clark to be happy, I'm even happier.
Thank you, Shad. I gotta say, she is the excellence of execution. The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. There's almost no doubt about it, at least in my eyes. And the Brett asked, "Why do you like her so much?" Because I think she's just immensely talented. I think is the number one, and then Bobby Petito with "She's your future NXT Women's Champion" too. Could not agree more, my friend. Drizzy, how do you feel about the return of Nikita Lyons? I mean,
You believe she's
she's
immensely talented.
she's back.
That's the reason why she's just immensely talented.
I think she's
It has
that darn
absolutely
good.
nothing to do with the wagon she is dragging behind her.
Nope.
She got a dunk. Watch it hit the floor. My bad.
Nah, but she's
No,
definitely she's immensely talented at what she does.
all jokes aside, yes, Nikita Lyons is very talented. I've seen the videos of her mixed martial arts. She is more than just booty and face.
Yep.
And I absolutely, and this is somebody again going back to all the everybody in the women's division in NXT is very credible. Lyra's title is constantly in danger with every challenger that steps to her, including Nikita Lyons, because before the injury, she was on that trajectory to be going up for the women's title. So it's happy to have her back. It's just more depth to our already deep, stacked main event level women's division.
100%. And I mean, that's the key here is you look at this women's division, we talk about it week in and week out. This isn't the first time we've had that conversation. Jokes aside, like we said, right? Like, and honestly, congrats to Nikita Lyons for coming back. Tough injury to come back from, and realistically, an amazing athlete. But seriously, jokes aside, this women's division is just stacked, and it's
Yeah.
booked properly in a way that others are not. And we watch them all, right? It's not like we just watch Tuesday nights. We watch Wednesday. We watch Saturday. We watch Monday. We watch Friday.
But there's a here's the thing also though. You kinda gotta understand where they're also coming from. This isn't like they're molding stars. They're getting people who are, fresh into their careers or don't have any wrestling experience, and they're building them up and they're booking them well and they're molding them, and you're seeing the transformation and you're seeing the progress happen. And that's like something that I wish we could see more in other wrestling promotions. I mean, I say it on Instagram all the time and Twitter all the time. I think AEW's women's division could learn a lot from NXT's women's division, because I think AEW has women who are probably a lot more talented than people on the NXT women's roster, and they should have an opportunity to get that TV time and the booking and storylines that can make them look like the stars that they are and whatnot. It's all about how much time you give into somebody. If you're not giving someone an ample amount of time, they're not going to be able to do much.
100%. And I couldn't agree more. And Bobby Batista with a great comment here, which is about, I believe, Nikita Lyons. She'll have breakout of the year. And then we got a comment here from Brett Sternberg, our good buddy, which is Sean and Trips are good at what they do. Could not agree more. And then we got another one here from Anthony Manzano, which is I have Fallon Henley winning the women's Iron Survivor match. Because to be honest, she's been the most tenured person in the match. She deserves at least one championship shot before being called up.
Not
Um,
not mad at that comment. I definitely see where you're coming from, but I also don't think she's gonna be called up that soon, because I think you can. I think she's got a potential run in her in the next some odd months. Like I don't think you need to bring her up to the main roster anytime soon. She's starting to like
yeah,
blossom more as a character, and she's getting better in ring wise. Where
And at that, we're also about to get through a bit of a. I want to say we're going to go through a branding change, which would be the segue probably into our next
yeah,
segment actually,
let's get into it.
because Fallon and her get well, they're together, are they?
Fallon and
And Briggs, they're
Briggs.
together, are they?
Are
They're
they
not together.
together? I don't know.
Well, she's their valet, so
I don't. I don't
I,
know
I,
that.
I don't
I
know
don't
about
know
real
wrestling.
life.
I do feel like a bit of a brand change is getting ready to happen with Briggs, Jensen, and Fallon. So
I think all three are headed in different directions, but I
Yeah, they
do
breaking them
actually
up.
believe that all three are positive
yeah,
in a
absolutely.
way, which is interesting. I think that's like a really good analysis there is as far as like what you were saying there, Drizzy. Like I think Fallon, I think they do need to separate, but I don't think either Briggs or Jensen is not valuable to the team,
Yeah,
right? And I think Jensen is the one that a lot of people are worried about when that's what happens. But I mean, watching that singles match last week, I don't get the concern. I think Jensen's as talented as anybody. And
He needs to repackage his character. I don't think his
yes,
character. He's grown out of his character. His previous
it's when
character is one that you're pigeonholed for if you're trying to have a long career. Like
Right.
you can't just play the dumb tag team partner your whole career. You know, you
Yeah,
gotta show growth in it. And I know he's not a dumb guy, obviously, but like you gotta show more into it. And I think uh Josh Briggs, the one who's in the match, I think he's better set as a solo individual star. I know Drizzy always mentions what he's done in the indies prior as a champion and whatnot. Like they need to showcase that guy more as a solo star rather than them just being a tag team.
Absolutely, and I totally agree with that. Let's talk about the men's Iron Survivor side, right? We got Thorpe, we got Coffee, and I'm not talking about caffeine in the morning. I'm talking Joe Coffee. When I say coffee, we got Tyler Bate, we got Mello. Drizzy, break it down for me. What do you see going on in the men's Iron Survivor tournament?
the men's, although as the women's was more entertaining, more exciting, the men's was a little bit more story based because you have Joe Coffey, you have Tyler Bate, two guys fighting for that extra spot. Eddie Thorpe completely taken out of the match early. I know he's recently had issues with Dijak, who has on almost on a weekly basis destroyed this man. He came out there with the DDP rib tape. If you WCW kids, you understand what DDP rib tape is. But
Yes, sir.
he has he came into the match banged up. So seeing him get carried out, not a surprise anyway. He was kind of low on our totem pole of who we thought would make it into the match anyway. But Coffee, Bait, Mello, who also has his own things going on, this was such a story based match. It's almost you could telegraph it that it was gonna be Coffee or Bate winning the match because of what everybody else has going on. So that does kind of take me out of it a bit. But seeing Tyler Bate go off those last couple of seconds with Coffee, both of them burnt the house down for that last minute.
hundred
I
percent.
wish I wish both men could make it in that match, but the big strong boy made it. The Iron King's gonna have to wait till next time.
Absolutely. And Drizzy, more importantly than that, I did not necessarily have on my bingo card a Diamond Dallas Page rib tape reference. Um, but I want you to know that's why I'm stoked that we have you on the show because as soon as you said it, DDP rib tape, I'm like, yep, absolutely. It was the same gimmick. I know it
Yes.
as well as anybody. Diamond cutter time, bang. I'm just saying. We got a couple comments here. One from our good friend Anthony Manzano, which is, did you guys already talk about the breakout tournament announcements and the people in the tournament? We did, Anthony, and I apologize for that. If you do
Nah,
need
we
to
didn't
go
talk
back and watch
about
the
it.
beginning, we didn't
We
really necessarily we didn't discuss it specifically as the topic,
Yeah.
but we've talked about the tournament,
We'll talk
and
about
both
it
sides
next.
of
We'll
it.
talk about it next week when they announce them. Like when
when
they
they do their
go into the
formal
whole
announcement.
process. Yeah.
Either way, we've also got another comment here from our good friend Bobby Petito, which is Brooks Jensen should wrestle on NXT level up. Couldn't agree more. And then one more from Bobby Petito, which is Tyler Bate is my pick in the Iron Survivor qualifying match for the men's side. Ooh, big strong boy. Interesting pick. Interesting pick. I mean, there's a lot of names here, as we've discussed. And then we also have the Trick Mellow factor. We
Mhm.
still have that. Just just waiting. Right? Just waiting in the wings. Shad, I'm gonna toss this one to you. What are your thoughts? Let's actually talk about the men's Iron Survivor side. And let's talk about a little bit about Trick Mello, a little about the entire rivalry. What do you think's gonna go down? We're only, what is it, 5 days away?
Yep. It's this weekend, man. You got a recipe of a wonderful match. You got a lot of great competitors in this match, and you have a strong case for a lot of these gentlemen to win the match and get an opportunity to go. against Ilya Dragunov if he does retain, or Baron Corbin, depending who wins on Saturday. Um, I wanna pick with my heart, and I wanna say it's gonna be Trick Williams, but there's just that cloud that's hovering in the sky that has to deal with what's going on with him and Carmelo Hayes. And we saw footage from NXT Anonymous show that Carmelo Hayes is looking a little bit more dicey and a little shaky in regards to all of this. And we know that there's gonna be a payoff tied to it. And I feel like we're gonna get closer to that this coming Saturday. So we got Carmelo Hayes obviously in the match with Lexis King, and we got Trick Williams in this Iron Survivor match. I want to say I got Trick Williams winning it, but I don't think that may be the direction. I think he may lose, and it may come in the cost of Carmelo Hayes, where they extend and kind of get this feud into full speed. If I had to pick a winner, I like the idea of Tyler Bate winning because I like the idea of him and Ilya Dragunov having a nice feud. It wouldn't be, the traditional heel versus baby face. It'd be two guys who are likable, but Ilya Dragunov has that killer instinct where he doesn't give you that traditional baby face, while Tyler Bate is more the traditional baby face, and they'll have great in ring chemistry. I think it could be a good next coming feud for Dragunov as he goes through his title reign. So I'm gonna go with Tyler Bate winning on Saturday if I had to pick a winner. But everything built up to this is good, man. You got you got all the big dogs. You got the big dog Braun Breaker in it. You got Dijak in it. It's definitely gonna be fun.
Absolutely. I mean, you got Tyler. You got the big strong boy. I love the pick. You got the big strong boy. You
Yeah,
took him.
definitely
You
do.
took him off the board. You took him right off the board. Drizzy, who do you have on the men's side? We've got all of this to break down. We had a fun episode of NXT tonight. I know we do have the main event to like slightly talk about, but like we might even just kind of scam that at the end.
Gotta go with the men's. So the story with the men's Iron Survivor, I definitely don't see any of the guys who are currently locked in a circle of hate right now between Trick, Mello, and Lex King. Any of them walking out with a chance to win that match, even though Mello's not in it. Definitely expect to see Mello out there. He might as well be the unofficial sixth person. He's not in the match, but he definitely will be there. Definitely don't see Dijak. I'm going with the dark horse. I'm going with Josh Briggs. We said it earlier. This match makes people. This is going to be the match where Josh Briggs shows up center stage and steals the spotlight from everybody. I believe he's ready for it. We let's say I talk about it all the time. He's he's ready. He took a little detour to just cap off his success and everything just to get a little bit of extra reps, but he's ready for the main event. This would be the perfect time to make a main event star out of him and have one of those great face versus faces feuds with Ilya should he retain in a big man battle between Briggs and Corbin, who kind of have a little bit of history. In fact, this whole thing with Briggs going solo kind of started with Corbin. So I definitely see Briggs walking out with this.
I like the call myself, my friend. I think with that, that does bring us to the end of this show. Basically, though, guys, like I mean, it's been an awesome Tuesday night as always. We had an awesome comment here from Bobby Petito that went almost got me choked up. You guys always do an amazing job every Tuesday. I had a tough day, Bobby. That means the world to me, and I really appreciate that, my friend. Like that is thank you, man. And please continue to tune in. We will be back on Saturday night immediately following the premium live event. We will have the absolute time of our lives. I know I got the comment here from Anthony Manzano. Can you leave my last comment or can you read it? Which is about Braun Breaker, which is I think King is actually responsible for Trick. They're just making it seem like it was Carmelo that was responsible for running over Trick. I don't know. That one's interesting. I actually think that's something we might find out on Saturday, to be honest. And with that, tune in Saturday night, immediately following the premium live event. Watch it. It'll be me. It'll be Drizzy. It'll be Shad. It's going to be outstanding. Can't wait to see you guys. Thank you for tuning in as always. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, please do. And most importantly, if you don't watch the daily, that would help as well.
Oh,
So
Clark.
that's
Clark, before we go, we should do predictions
okay. On
on the show for so I have the card here.
let's hear it.
Do we want to do pre-show? Y'all care about doing pre-show prediction? It's only
No.
one match.
Read the card. We're gonna do one each. We gotta get this out in 2 minutes.
All right. We pre-show Axiom versus Nathan Frazier.
I'm gonna
Nathan
go
Frazier.
Frazier.
Yeah, I
I'm
got
going Frazier
Nathan
as well.
Frazier.
All right.
3 for 3 on Frazier.
Main card Iron Survivor match: Braun Breaker, Josh Briggs, Dijak, Trick, and Bait.
I said I got bait. I got bait. I said that earlier.
He took Bait. I'll take Briggs.
I'm going Briggs.
Oh dang it!
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jersey. I didn't mean to copy you.
Sounds good. Women's Iron Survivor match: Kalani Jordan, Lash Legend, Tiffany Stratton, Blair Davenport, and Fallon Henry.
KJ. I got Kalani Jordan.
I got Tiffany.
Lash Legend. All right. Steel cage match: Roxanne Perez versus Kalani James. Kiana James, my bad.
I got Roxanne.
Yeah. Well, I already have Kalani, so we're good.
I'm going Kiana James. I'm
I know
going Kiana
James
James.
versus Roxanne. Kalani's not.
I had Kalani Jordan in the last match.
No,
Yes.
we're talking about Roxanne
There's
versus
another-
Kiana James in a cage match.
I spaced out. I'm sorry. Yeah, no. Then I've got Roxanne in that one.
All right. Carmelo Hayes versus Lex King in a separate match on the same card.
I got
Mello.
Lexus King.
I got Mello.
I'm going Lex King.
Yeah, I got him
All right.
too.
North American Championship. Dragon Lee replacing the injured Wesley. Much love to my man. Hope he gets well soon. Against Dominic Mysterio. Who you got?
I got Dragon Lee.
I got A, B, DM. Anybody but Dominic Mysterio.
You got me for a sec. All right. I'm going Dragon Lee. Time to get the belt off of him. And main event NXT Championship: Ilya Dragunov versus Baron Corbin.
I got Dragunov.
I want Corbin so bad. I'm
Mhm.
taking Corbin. Forget it. I'll take Corbin and I'll wear it when he loses. But I want Corbin. I want Corbin to go over.
I'm
Do
going
it,
Ilya.
Corbin. Do it.
I'm going Ilya.
I love it.
I said that's the full card.
Absolutely. Okay, with that, we actually are signing off. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. As always, off the air. We'll see you guys next Tuesday. More importantly, we'll see you guys on Saturday night. Everybody on Saturday night. And thank you for tuning in. We'll talk to everybody soon.